There's an exorcist that responds to Cosmopolitan's satanic abortion ceremony coverage. Monsignor Rossetti, he's the exorcist in Washington, D.C. He's also a former professor at Catholic University of America. He says he's talking about it, criticizing the Cosmopolitan's magazine satanic abortion ceremony coverage. He says, in previous eras, those who practice evil kept to the shadows and remain hidden. Monsignor Stephen Rossetti, research associate professor of practice at the Catholic University of America in Washington, D.C., told our Sunday Visitor, today our society has gotten so dysfunctional that evil freely operates in the open, and society accepts it, even condones it. Someone needs to say the emperor has no clothes, close quote. Well, Eddie, that's where we come in. That's what we do on Virgin Most Powerful, is from one show after another, we're telling people that the emperor has no clothes. There's a lot of us that are pointing out the political, the corporate, and the religious corruption, and we're going to keep doing so until our heart stops. Eddie, comment?
Yeah, just, this is something that's so necessary just in today's society. And even leading up to this era of time, we have had to fight poor catechesis our whole lives, Jess. Our whole lives we've had to fight that. So this is just part of what we're doing, what we're called to do. Thanks be to God for calling us to this ministry. That's what's beautiful about it.
Monsignor Rossetti, who leads the St. Michael Center for Spiritual Renewal, a nonprofit that prays with those spiritually suffering and in need of healing and deliverance, has served as an exorcist for the Archdiocese of Washington for more than 15 years. The licensed psychologist has written several books, including Diary of an American Exorcist, Demons, Possession, and the Modern-Day Battle Against Evil. Monsignor Rossetti made his comments after Cosmopolitan, a woman's magazine, described a satanic abortion ceremony step by step in a storyline and in an Instagram post published in November. Monsignor Rossetti said the following, quote, "So how does the satanic abortion ceremony even work?" The post, with images of upside-down crosses, asks, "Here's a simple one the Satanic Temple recommends," close quote. The larger story features the Satanic Temple, which says it does not believe in Satan or the supernatural, but at the same time considers itself a religious organization and provides a religious medication abortion care. Its online clinic based in New Mexico offers to mail abortion pills to women in that state, and actually all over the country, who wish to perform the Satanic Temple's religious abortion ritual. The ritual encourages women to focus on themselves and concludes with them saying, quote, "By my body, my blood, by my will, it is done," close quote. The phrasing contrasts with the Mass when the priest repeats Christ's words during the consecration, quote, "For this is my body, which will be given up for you. For this is the chalice of my blood, which will be poured out for you and for many for the forgiveness of sins," close quote. Monsignor Rossetti says, Satanists will often take Catholic rituals and sacraments and do what we call a satanic inversion. They will take that which is holy and desecrate it, such as in a black mass. Evil takes the truth and then inverts or distorts it. Eddie, comments?
Yeah, just, they give us, on the article that I have, it gives a step-by-step process of what this woman is supposed to be doing. And that last ritual affirmation that she was to say, by my body, my blood, and my will, it is done. Just this creepily reminds me of a choice when rebellious angels made their irreversible choice and possibly supported and ratified each other's choice with such affirmations about their own will being done. Just this not only has them saying something that is anti-Catholic, anti-conservative, but it gives them the ability to say this mantra, which is anti-God. This is very alarming to me, just because people are just jumping right into from the fire into the frying pan. Jess, this is terrible. This is what's happening in today's society.
And by the way, the Satanic Temple has opened up this online, or this, Yeah, call-in abortion clinic in New Mexico, Albuquerque, New Mexico. And so I read in another article that you can buy abortion pills in all 50 states and they'll ship them off to you anywhere. But if they set up their operation in Albuquerque, New Mexico, and of course, what we read here in the article, it's a mockery of the Catholic consecration at Mass. It says here, Monsignor Rossetti says, I had previously been told by a former Satanist that he did rituals to dedicate the abortion and the fetuses to Satan. We Catholics knew that an abortion was a grievous sin. The connection of abortion with Satanism only confirms it and casts a clear, dark shadow over all pro-abortion forces, close quote. Among other things, the Cosmopolitan magazine story cites a woman identified as Jessica who was raised Catholic and plans to go through with this kind of abortion by incorporating, quote, some ceremonial aspects into her solo abortion experience, close quote. Monsignor Rossetti says, I would hope that all those who support abortions or those personally considering an abortion would rethink their stance. Do you really want to be aligned with Satanists? Other exorcists have more generally commented on abortion and the demonic. As chief exorcist of the Archdiocese of Washington, Father Luke Clark, a Dominican, previously called abortion, quote, an open door for the demonic during one interview. He says, we've had cases where that's exactly how the demons were able to possess the individual. The effects of abortion are devastating. The killing of the child, the mother's fear, despair, guilt, shame, self-hatred, and belief she has committed an unforgivable sin all point to the atmosphere of hell. Father Luke says, yet long as we live, we can repent and be forgiven of any sin, including abortion. Eddie, comments?
Just the first step in the protocol, not the protocol, but the steps they provide here is first find a quiet space, bring a mirror if you can, just before taking the medication, gaze at your reflection and focus on your personhood. Home in on your intent, your responsibility to you. Take a few deep, relaxing breaths. Just when the woman looks at herself in the mirror, she'll recall that every time there's an attempt to liberate her, she'll remember looking at herself in the mirror, and she's the one that's the cause of this. And the demons will be more than happy to remind her of that same that same issue. That's what's bad about this, Jesse. It just goes right into the occult and has you recite mantras that have to do with the abortion itself.
And also because all these, whether you do something good or something bad, all these things are embedded into your imagination, into your memory. What happens is the demons have access to your memory and your imagination, and they're going to remind you of that day that you killed your baby over and over and over again. And they're going to torment the woman with that event over and over and over again. Because demons have access to our memory. They have access to our imagination. And they'll take those sins that we've committed and they try to get you to start hating yourself. Because demons hate themselves. See, demons are self-loathing. And so they want the person that they're afflicting, they want them to participate also in hating themselves. Demons try to get people to self-loathe. And I've seen that in one of my family members. He lived with self-loathing for decades. And as we talk now today, he says, I used to hear voices in my head. It wasn't my mind. It wasn't my imagination. They were external voices outside of me, he says, and they had me hating myself for decades. So I've seen this in my own family.